Hello everyone and welcome to my bold and beautiful official update channel. Eric becomes Katie's mentor, Ridge and Brooke are wrecked. The bold and the beautiful spoilers document that Eric Forrester, John McCook, volunteered to become Katie Logan Spencer's, Heather Tom, mentor. She was as surprised as she was happy because starting the fashion house that her new husband had given her to start is a very difficult task. Insane daydreams of her older sister laughing plagued Katie. She doesn't feel that way about Brooke Logan Forrester, Catherine Kelly Lang, but she has been harsh about the new company's name. Logan is the right pick for several reasons. Two of them involve Katie developing a memorable brand name, and the third is provoking Forrester Creations into providing her with free publicity. Forrester Creations is Eric Forrester's legacy. Eric would be the first to say that Stephanie Forrester, Susan Flannery, deserves just as much credit for establishing FC's long-lasting legacy. As their annual fashion shows in exotic locations consistently demonstrate, this is one of the world's leading fashion houses. Achieving the top spot took years to accomplish and requires sharp minds to maintain dominance. This is where Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., and Brooke are going astray. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, Taylor loses it, informs Sheila she wants Deacon? View story. For many years, Logan probably wouldn't come near their business. However, Katie's legitimate and passionate response was sparked by Brooke's retaliation, with Eric also siding with Katie. Katie Logan Spencer is realistic and driven. Katie has a strong head in the business world. Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, Katie's father, and Brooke Spencer, her mother, deserve credit for guiding her through those formative years. In more recent times, Katie has more than proven her acumen. She has been in charge of FC's public relations for a decade and even ran the business for a short time after Bill took over. The idea of using Logan wasn't about Brooke, though Lang's character is convinced otherwise. She said that Katie always envied her life, even when she was young, and looked out the window in awe of her. Katie isn't trying to one-up Brooke. Instead, Brooke feels superior as her dismissive attitude reinforces. Ridge Forrester reacts in the wrong direction. Ridge's default mode is to defend Brooke. That makes sense because he is her husband, and their remarkable 9th marriage just took place in the FC executive suite. Yes, that actually happened, and in that setting. Ridge would recognize that Katie is not attempting to undermine Brooke if he were to take a step back. She simply wants to make her own way, which reflects and projects maturity. Eric's response to Katie and his desire to guide her are partially steeped in his memory of how FC came to be. But there is a part of Eric that wants to keep his creative hand in the fight, and Logan gives him the perfect chance to do so in this cleverly developing storyline. Is Brooke the CBS soap's most disliked character? The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that it really doesn't matter if you love her or loathe her, as there's simply no denying that you can't ignore her. Is Brooke the most hated character on the soap? Of course, we are talking about Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, as there's a lot of soap fans out there who believe that Brooke might be the most hated character on the soap. She has, after all, done some sinful things in the past. She went to Paris just to break up Taylor and Ridge right after they got married. If that weren't enough, she had an affair with her daughter Bridget's husband, Deacon. Who even does that kind of stuff? And now she's trying to sabotage her sister Katie Logan's new fashion house by refusing to allow her to use her name. Let's just say that Brooke is the kind of woman who thinks that she belongs on top, no matter what anyone has to say about it. In point of fact, despite her numerous accomplishments, very few people actually consider themselves to be fans of Brooke Logan. On social media, B&B fans clearly had a lot to say about the situation. What's next for Brooke Logan? Some even added, "I was a Brooke hater for years and even to this day, she annoys me more than anything," to their remarks. "I just can't take any of it seriously when her friends are people who should be in jail. The hate she gets is mostly justified, she's morally bankrupt to the point of death and plays the victim card far too much, but it's also kind of hilarious because almost everyone in this show is morally bankrupt by this point," one critic wrote. Like it's very difficult to find a character who hasn't done really bad things. The following observation followed: "I think the main difference is that unlike other characters, it is rarely held against her. Similar to how Steffi was held accountable for firing Hope and having an affair with Liam, Hope faced a lot of criticism for her pursuit of Thomas and the takeover. Ridge does almost everything. The list continues. Taylor loses it, informs Sheila she wants Deacon? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful give the impression that Taylor Hayes, played by Rebecca Budig, may have reached the end of her rope and be forced to take drastic action against Sheila Carter, played by Kimberlyn Brown. Why would Taylor do the unthinkable and tell Sheila that she has a thing for her husband Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon? We can think of 3 compelling reasons. Do you agree with us? 1. Taylor's uncomfortable conscience. Taylor knows better than to hold hands with a patient and stare deeply in their eyes while proclaiming affection. E.W. After Sheila lied to Deacon, Taylor became a patient for him. It wasn't a simple little lie, it was a life or death lie, and Deacon got the willies. Is Taylor, however, the only therapist in the area? Nevertheless, Taylor initiated sessions and soon got caught up in a mutual attraction. 2. Sheila's threat. Taylor is aware of Sheila's instability. Sheila has previously terrorized her and even killed her daughter Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood. Sheila doesn't play, and Taylor may figure that the only way to neutralize her opponent is by stunning them into submission. The only issue with that is that Sheila will eventually get unshocked and plan a campaign of terror against her foe. 3. Taylor's pomposity. Keep in mind how tall and powerful Taylor is. She is a world-renowned humanitarian who helps the helpless with her help. Or so they say. Given that she is a world-renowned doctor who can leave her practice at any time, her self-image must be extravagant. It doesn't matter that someone of her caliber would give up everything to take on a case involving a struggling marriage. To put it another way, Taylor has a pretty positive self-image, which she could use to her advantage to convince Sheila that she can deal with people like her. What comes next in Los Angeles? Tell us what you think of Sheila and Deacon. Do you prefer Taylor and Deacon's beauty and the beast flavor, or the pizza maker with Sheila? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Elektra becomes more worried, concerned that Dylan will cheat on her. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers document that Elektra Forrester, Linnea Grace, was betrayed by someone she thought was a friend. Then, as that trauma subsided, Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, reared her head. So, it's natural for Elektra to be defensive and protective of her relationship with Will Spencer, Crew Morrow. Dylan, played by Sidney Bullock, does not appear to pose a threat. However, Elektra's unintentional errors might make Dylan appear more sympathetic than she already does. Therefore, the chance to work at Forrester Creations is a source of juicy daytime drama. Will Spencer has been completely loyal. Will is a red-blooded guy. But he didn't stray from Elektra during the months that Luna shamelessly threw herself at him. He was repulsed that Luna offered a transactional deal, with no relationship intended. Thankfully, Will never took the bait and also told Elektra about it. That honesty was a major reason why Elektra stood by Will after it was revealed that Luna had conned him into being the mother of his child. The conflict came to an end when Luna passed away, resulting in a woman who became protective and a potential triangle. Changing the expectations of the audience, the soapy cards can't possibly replicate the Luna storyline. It stands to reason that Brad Bell, executive producer, and his team of writers are not telling that story to the audience. Instead, it feels like the focus is shifting to Elektra in this new storyline. She has already inquired about Dylan, who she discovered to be her summer friend. Instead of having Bullock's once-in-a-lifetime side character become obsessed with Will, it seems like she needs friendship and opportunities in the workplace. That, along with accidentally running Luna down and then admitting it to Elektra, puts her directly in the middle of the revamped beach house setting. Something new is created when Elektra Forrester makes changes. Elektra has supported Will to date, and that was right. He appreciates her and is committed to their deepening connection. However, Elektra will increasingly behave differently if she perceives that Dylan is a threat. Will be put under pressure by Grace's character by telling him that he is missing signals that she thinks Dylan is sending to him. Oddly, a character has no last name at this point. As a result, Elektra and Will's fans should ponder whether she is connected to someone who is already in Los Angeles, California, or to someone from their past. But other than the above, Dylan looks like she's telling the truth. Will loves Elektra and likes Dylan. But that dynamic is ripe for eventual change. Having Dylan live at the beach house, above the garage, puts her in Will's proximity. It also places her under Elektra's watchful gaze. Add Dylan to the roster at FC, and Elektra could easily be irked by her and lash out. Dylan would claim innocence, and Will would probably try to place a peacemaker, which Elektra would see as questioning her judgment. That's how easily this drama could start.